Welcome to Let's Get On With It Fallout, a post-nuclear role-playing game, released in 1997 by Interplay Entertainment. You've probably heard of it, or of another in the series. This is the original. I, Grimith, will be your snarky commentator throughout this entire playthrough, and I'm bringing you this one by request, courtesy of the man who informed me of adult entertainment opportunities in Thailand. Thanks for those. I have familiarity with this game, played it for hundreds of hours. It's been a while, but I'm certainly not flying blind on this one, like for many others on the Rewarding the Rewarders request list. It'll be a nice change of pace. Anyway, let's get started with character creation, yes? I considered Iron Manning this game, but I ultimately decided against it. It wasn't a part of the request, so I didn't want to screw someone out of the experience. I'm pretty good at rolling with the punches, though, and I'm not aiming to beat the game. I'm just aiming to have fun. Okay, so character creation. There's a special list of attributes over to the left. Strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, luck, along with a collection of status modifiers and other assorted facts. And the bottom left, we've got optional traits. You can pick up to 2, and they flavor your character in various ways. Over on the right, you have a list of all of your character skills. We have the option to tag 3 of them. By tagging, that means that they will improve twice as fast, and they will get a significant skill bump. So say, for example, we're going to be tagging Steel, we're going to be tagging Speech, and we are going to tag Energy Weapons. I like that combination. We'll roll with that. Regards to optional traits, my favorite on the list is Gifted, for I am, in fact, a gifted individual who tends to rely more on natural talent rather than actual skill level in any given situation. There are times when this has proven to be deleterious to my cause. Go ahead and pick that, and as you can see, my skills have significantly decreased. The other one that I really like is Fast Shot. This prohibits you from using the targeting mechanism within the game, yet the reduction in action point cost is rather noticeable and enjoyable. So, we're tagging that. Now, courtesy of being gifted, our attributes all went up by 1, and they normally limited to being at 1, but when you're gifted, they have a minimum of 2. They rise up to 10. I like to keep strength where it is, 6, that'll be fine. I think perception's going to be going up to 8. Endurance is fine at 6. Taking charisma all the way down to 2, though. So I can take intelligence up to 10. Agility up to 10. I said agility up to 10. Rather interesting, I know, for my longtime viewers to think that I actually have average luck, but it works. Certainly the heroic agility doesn't match, and as for charisma, well, so many folks on YouTube say that I try too hard to be funny anyway, so I think it matches. I think that will take care of my character. That's everything. One thing, we'll be skipping cutscenes in this series. I have forced Fallout into a windowed mode, as evidenced by this blue bar that you see on top. The cutscenes do not look pretty in this windowed mode, but it was the best option for me to provide this game in a recordable and smooth and enjoyable format. I will give you a brief little snippet of how this looks.
Ah, you're here.
Yes.
Good. We've got a problem. A big one.
That is factually correct, Overseer. Yes. So, brief explanation of the game. This is us. In this post-apocalyptic world, we have spent our entire lives living within a vault. Vault 13. They were constructed out of fear of a nuclear war ever devastating the entire universe, which, as it turns out, it has. We're entirely sheltered, lived all of our lives in there. This is our first time stepping out into the outside world. And we may have lived within the vault for longer, were it not for the fact that the water chip, which controls the purification of the water within the vault, kind of broke. So we drew the short straw, and we've been cast out here by the Overseer, that was the douchebag at the beginning, to find a water chip and save our people. We have a time to do this. 150 days. And should all that time elapse without us successfully completing our mission, well, it's kind of the main quest of the game, so yeah. This game operates in real time, except for during combat, there are turn-based elements to it. View here. This is a map option. If we had a scanner, I could use it there. But for here, all I can do is flip the switch between high and low. Woohoo! Character sheet, displaying perks that we will earn in the future. Our karma, our reputation, and our kill counter, which we currently don't have any kills. Fancy that. Over here, you can oscillate between your two hands. You can carry up to 2 weapons at once, otherwise you have to pull things out of your inventory. We're going to go ahead and put a knife in one hand. We're going to keep the other hand free. I don't plan on using my gun in this area. We'll go ahead and loot these bones to pick up another knife. I said we're going to pick up another knife and some ammunition. This guy's Ed. And Ed is dead. Switch to the knife. This doesn't really matter. We'll just go ahead and pick thrust. Because we're going to be skewering some rats while we're in here. Pretty awesome, I know. One final thing. Game difficulty is set to hard and combat difficulty is set on rough. Fantastic. We'll go ahead and save the game. I have tried recording this 2 previous occasions. First time I included the cutscenes and realized just how bad they looked. Didn't know that until then. The second time, that was YouTube's fault. That's why you can now see that blue bar at the top. YouTube likes to play with my resolution of my pixels at times. Most irritating. So, I said we're going to hunt some giant rats. You see these little red outlines? Yeah, those are giant rats. We're gonna have to kill those bastards. Well, I actually wanted to show you one. Here we go. She looks unhurt. Oh, that was a great description and totally worth the price of admission. Down here, hit points, armor class governs your to hit. If you've played, like, role-playing tabletop rule sets, you have a grasp of that. Let's go ahead and creep up close here. I want to get a little bit closer before I initiate in fisticuffs. Alright, so, like I said, turn-based combat in this game. You have each turn a set number of action points, which for me is 10, because I have maxed my agility, to do with as you will. So, it took me 4 movement points to come to the spot near the rat, 2 to thrust at it and miss, and another 4 to retreat. I'm going to kite these rats because my action point count is so high, I can do this, and not get hit in the process. One more. There we go. First blood. 19 more rats to go. Total of 20 rats in this region, and I'll earn a total of 500 experience points from them. Not exactly the most glamorous combat, and I could definitely skip it, but I'll get you all acclimated to the game if for... Ah, crap, I wasn't supposed to swing there. I got distracted because I'm awesome. Don't hit me! Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, rats, for not having that much in the way of action points. Each enemy in this game also has their own set number of action points as well as for how many action points it takes for them to do things. My virtual avatar is not being very impressive. And of course, the previous recordings, he's done fantastic. He's done a great job at hitting things. But in the darkness here, lighting does affect your chance to hit. That's why the game is generous enough to start you off with flares. It shouldn't really matter that much for a melee combat, but my character is not very good at melee. That's kind of how it goes. I picked energy weapons. Pro tip, you don't really start the game with energy weapons. Who knew? Come along, giant rat. Rat on a knife. That's what's for supper tonight. We're not having supper tonight. God damn it. I guess since I'm wearing the big, bold 13 on my back, that I'm not exactly the luckiest character, as evidenced by the fact that also I drew the short straw, and that's why I've been sent out here to save the universe. Let me go ahead and show you what happens if you try to come back in. You use the door computer. The computer does not recognize your access code. Dicks. I want in! The game's not gonna let you back in. You have to come back in a while. They are having technical difficulties. In short, the Overseer doesn't want your ass back in the vault anytime soon. You actually have to go out. I think you have to come back like you wander around for like a day or so, and suddenly your access code works, and you can play around in the vault and get some extra equipment and engage in an optional side quest or two. But I'll have to think of whether I want to do that after I hunt down and skewer these rats. My character, man. This is tough going. Don't you want to eat tonight? No. That wasn't a facetious question, virtual me. Alright, let's try swinging. Well, there you go. I just needed to alternate. I guess I'll oscillate between the two options. Now again, I'm making sure I engage in combat first, so that I act first within the sequence, so that these rats, who have fewer action points than I do, don't get the opportunity to hit me. Because if I don't have to lose any hit points, then I won't. I only have so many of those, and while stim packs can work wonders in restoring your health, those are precious at the beginning of the game. At least for right now. I don't know exactly how strictly I'm going to force myself to play this, like, you know, whether I'm gonna... Well, I certainly know that I'm not on the way to completing this game in less than 88 in-game days. Yep. Just go ahead and run. I can take my time. No pressure. Especially since this third time should be the charm with all the recording issues. YouTube, I'm looking at you. Actually, I'm not. I was thinking about it and talking about it. That's why I said talking about it. Any outlines nearby? There are. That was a partial success. Come along, little rat. You know, you would have thought rats would be much quicker than this in their grand pursuit here, but my virtual representation is just so much better at hunting these things down than, I guess what I would normally be. There you go. That's a good job by you. Good job. Free belong to you. And run away. No! He's gonna nibble at my ankles! Don't let him! Damn it. One more time. This thrusting thing really is not working out this time. Look, you're making me look bad on YouTube. There we go. How am I supposed to impress my internet friends if you keep whiffing? I could hit with a knife better than you, and I don't have any formal training either. I'm certainly not... Ah, crap. The rat noticed me. Now, because the rat initiated combat, and my sequence statistic is so much higher than the rat's, as evidence here, I'm actually going to get 2 turns in a row on this one. So, I'm actually going to stand in place and repeatedly miss. It's like I'm playing Civilization 4, guys. It's like I'm playing Civilization 4. But Grimith, you have less than a 50% chance to hit your targets here. That's entirely irrelevant. You flip a coin enough times, you'd think something would go your way, right? Even though probability does not adjust itself based upon the fact that things, you know, keep going the other direction. That's the flaw with mathematics, guys. I say this as a history major, who picked a major that would allow him to relax in college and then live in a cardboard box. I'm an overachiever. I mean, my U.S. history teacher in high school told me to strive to be average, and I like to think I have accomplished that goal in my life. He told us all to strive to be average. That was one of his shticks, along with telling the girls, like, he might have difficulty. He was an old guy, like in his 60s. Like, he would have difficulty remembering names at times, but for the girls, if they just did a pirouette in front of them, he'd be able to remember them. Die. There we go. Short and succinct. Just like this knife. I don't know why I decided to switch to... That is amusing. That, my knife, it takes fewer action points. I guess I don't have the improved unarmed strike feat, so... I'd provoke attacks of opportunity if I tried to do that. Will you die? Thank you. Okay, thanks, bye. We got one more rat down here? 2. Son of a bitch. I mean, I don't need the 500 experience points this bad. I guess it's just a ritual for me to go through the process of killing all the rats in this game. I've done it so... I've cleared out this cave so many times over the course of my life. The game came out in 1997. It's like nostalgia for me. And of course, my recent attempts in trying to recording this over the course of the past 3 weeks. Like, you remember the glory days? Whenever you were a kid and you used to hunt down rats in the cave with your spiffy cool knife that was easier for you to use than your bare hands, but you kept missing the rats. Yeah, those were the good old days. Oh, rat beat me to it. It's okay. I'll keep whiffing. Damn it, rat. Rat's got hops. I like to think that it's more of my personal ineptitude of being able to hit the things and them actually be capable of dodging. Actually, whenever I phrase it like that, I'd rather think that they were just good than me sucking at it. Maybe they should start doing this hobby, because they'd clearly be better at it than me. Come along, little rat. Grimith has a game to play. There we go. Doing a good job. Let's save the game. I've developed habitual saving over the course of my life. It's not exactly because I loved... Wow, I thought I beat the rat to the punch there. Not exactly because I love to load so much. It's because games like Daggerfall have taught me that they could crash at any given moment. You know, and this did have... There was a potential for you to run this game through DOS. So, one of the, you know, the point of like 1997, that was starting to be phased out of games. Because who cared about DOS anymore? Except for old fogies who learned it in like their computer science classes. By old fogies, I mean high school students. I guess old fogies could learn it in their computer science classes too, and then wonder why the hell you were going away from DOS. This is immensely dissatisfying. Well, now he's standing on the corpse of his friend. And he's squeaking at me. There we go. Just taunting me. Those quivering whiskers. We done. Yay! 500 experience points. You're doing a good job. This is what happens whenever your melee weapon percentages just aren't that high. But yes, it was worth saving the bullets. Wouldn't want to miss here in the dark, for one. That would just be demoralizing. And, you know, I definitely had the agility to kite these guys. And, naturally, rats don't carry any treasure. You can pickpocket them in Daggerfall and get their gold and bits of lint and notes, but not so much in Fallout. Let's go ahead and exit this cavern complex and see the outside world for the very first time. To the west, you can see a natural light. For the first time in your life, you are looking at the outside world. Hooray! That's some random cavern feature. You see nothing out of the ordinary. What about here? You think these might be horned kangaroo bones, but you cannot be sure. They are too weathered to make a final... Really? What's my outdoorsman? Alright, yeah, -7. Huh. Interesting that I would be able to recognize horned kangaroo bones. Maybe I studied them while I was in the... Maybe I studied them whenever I was in the vault. Maybe the vault had books about horned kangaroos, although... let's just go on. It doesn't matter. And that little brown field means that stepping onto one of the hexes there takes you to the world map, where we could go and look at Vault 13 again, the Vault of the Future, although we could only enter the cavern entrance. Now, the other option we have here on our bank, our legend there, is Vault 15, which is over here. This is the destination the Overseer recommended to us for finding another water chip for our vault. Now, of course, it wouldn't be very much of a game if it was just that easy, but it's the only lead that we have, so we're going to obviously be heading in that direction. You can see the clock up there in the top right, and see time fly by as we begin trekking through the mountains, and immediately encounter something. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. More rats. Not a rat scorpion, not mantises, rats. Well, that was easy. I tell you what. I going to kill all of you in the name of God and country. Said I was going to kill all of you in the name of God and country, and I'm not off to a great start. Alright. I love how all the other rats are just chilling and everything. And as you can see, my hitting percentages are exactly the same, although it is far brighter out here than it was in the cave. You know, you saw how there was like a personal ring of light around me because I exude light. That's just, you know, perception, obviously. That's the best you can do whenever it's right next to you. It was dim light in the cave, I guess. That works. Go ahead and in combat. Switch back into combat. Can I stab him from there? I cannot. Well, I'll run at you, and I'll tag you, and then run away. Rat's not having any of that shit. He sees my gimmick, and he's just shooting me down right there, going, no. Come on, Rat, you gotta play along. You may have noticed that any spare or excess action points will be converted into armor class for a round. So, it's okay if you have leftover. It's not entirely wasted. But obviously taking actions is superior to being inactive. Otherwise, you'd be able to win the game by being inactive. Ah, crap. Took too many actions! Don't hit me! I have noticed that, having 5 action points for movement, you know, is good enough. But I like to move that additional X, just in case the rats throws a curveball at me, surprises me. I wouldn't put it past this game. Not as sadistic as Daggerfall, but... Is that good enough? No. Because he moved away, the bastard. There we go. Whoop! Sweet! Got a kill. Run away. Apparently his friend didn't want to have anything to do with me. Interesting. Ah, my friend just collapsed in a fit of gore. I know these are animals. You know, don't have intelligence scores higher than 2, but come on. Is that good enough? Damn it. I gotta get closer. Quit moving away from me! Again, you are vexing me. There we go. Stupid scavenging rats. Again, I could have run through them. I could have ignored them, and like I could have ignored all the rats in the caves, but I figured, you know what the hell. If the game wants to throw random events at me like that, then I'll go ahead and deal with them. You know, I was gonna make continued progress, but I tell you what. We'll head back here to Vault 13 now. And there you go. We have access to all these things. I suppose since we didn't get to see the, of course, the opening cinematic for the game, and then the cinematic before you appear there next to Dead Ed, we'll actually delve back into the vault and explore that a bit. Why not? I mean, I'm right here, and it's such a pain in the ass to trek through the mountains to get back, so... Join me next time on Let's Get All That Fallout when... hopefully we won't fight any more damn rats. It'll be funsies. Maybe. Save the game one more time, and I will TTYL LOL, providing that YouTube actually made this work. Toodaloo.